You served your country, maybe you ran on fumes, pushed through pain, wore the uniform, but now you try to run 2 miles and feel like collapsing. You don't need to train like David Goggins to get back in shape. And for most of you, you probably shouldn't. I'm Dr. Ray Peralta, physical therapist, run coach, and exercise physiologist, and Marine veteran. Over the last 10 years, I've helped hundreds of runners and veterans get strong, rebuild confidence, and overcome chronic pain without wrecking their bodies in the process. In this video, I'm going to share 5 reasons why you don't need to train like David Goggins to get back in shape. You don't need to run 100-mile ultra marathons, wake up at 3 a.m., or ignore your pain to prove that you're disciplined. So I want to break down why the Goggins-style training is extreme by design, the difference between mental toughness and physical sustainability, what you should actually be focused on instead if your goal is just for general fitness, and how to train for longevity, not just for, to mentally suffer and go through the pain cave. I'm going to show you how to get started with a free resources designed for veterans like you. You can check out that free link for running pain-free, link in description. So let's dive in. So don't get me wrong, David Goggins is a beast, right? He's run the Badwater 135 ultra marathon. He's finished Ironmans, double Ironmans, done 150-mile races, and created his infamous 4x4 48 challenge, right? He trains like an ultra endurance athlete because that's his mission, to push his mind to the absolute limit, right? But if you're a veteran in your 30s or 40s and trying just to get fit again, not compete in a death race, you need a different plan. So 5 reasons why you don't need to train like Goggins. 1, you're not 21 anymore, and that's a good thing. Goggins is chasing extremes, right? 135-mile ultra marathons, double Ironmans, and 200-plus mile races. Your goals are different. You want to feel strong, pain-free, and confident again, not see how far your body can break before it quits. After service, your body has mileage. You don't need more punishment. You just need a smart training plan. Number 2, you don't need brutality. You need a system, right? You don't need to run on broken legs. I know there's stories of Goggins running through broken legs, kidneys that are shutting down, right? Sleeping on less than 4 hours a night, spending 2+ hours stretching, staying up at night, missing hours of sleep, right? Getting up at 3 a.m. You don't need to do all that, right? You can just strength train 2 times a week, do cardio, like zone 2 cardio, 3 to 5 days a week, and then some daily mobility work, 10 to 20 minutes a day, right? You don't need to spend like 2-hour-long stretch routines, and then just sleep 7 hours of sleep at least a night. And then, eating a healthy nutrition, proper fueling, call it like an 80-20 approach with nutrition. At least 80% of the time, you're eating whole foods, not processed. You don't have to be going monk mode where you have to avoid all the foods you used to like, right? You can still enjoy a slice of pizza or some French fries, right? But 80% of the time, you should be eating clean. So sustainability beats savagery, especially if you want to stay injury-free and just do it for longevity, right? You're not trying to prove that you're an ultra marathon badass. So discipline, and number 3, discipline isn't just about suffering. I understand that Goggins ran 100 miles in 19 hours with broken feet and kidney failure, and he didn't take any days off for years. And much respect to him, but you're not broken if you need rest, right? If you're the average everyday, veteran, you have a full-time job, other responsibilities, you don't necessarily have to train for ultra marathons if you don't want to, right? So discipline can also come from just being consistent with a smart training plan, even when you don't feel like it. That's how you build long-term results. You don't have to be suffering, going in the pain cave. You just have to be consistent with a sound training plan. Number 4, you've got nothing left to prove, right? You already proved your grit and uniform. Now it's about showing up for your family, your job, your future. You don't need to suffer daily to be tough, right? You don't have to be in the pain cave every day. You can get in shape with just 3 hours a week, right? So if you do an hour-long week or workout, right, that'd be 30 minutes of like cardio, 30 minutes of strength training. Boom, there's your hour, 3 days a week, done, right? And then you could just do general physical activity, just walking, getting steps in throughout the day, get to 8,000 and 10,000 steps per day. Bang, you bang that out. And then you could even rest 2 days a week. You can even have the weekends off if you want to have Saturday and Sunday off, right? So you could do 5 days a week of 3 to 5 days a week of some types of exercise or training, and even take the weekends off if you want to, right? That's plenty of time to rebuild your strength without wrecking your joints and having to destroy yourself. You don't have to go through ultra marathon style events just to prove something, right? You can, again, get in great shape doing just what I just described. Even training for a 5K, you can get in great shape. Number five, consistency beats intensity. During the pandemic, Goggins invented the 4x4 48 challenge, right? Run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. That's 12 runs, 48 miles, 2 nights of no sleep. Cool challenge, but for 99% of people, that's going to lead to sleep disruption, overtraining risk, potential injury and burnout, nutrition nightmares, right? I understand that this is just a challenge for mental toughness. Goggins is not saying that you should train like this every single weekend, right? This was just a challenge, to really push the mental toughness side of things. But the point is that the average veteran doesn't need all this chaos to get results. Now, if you want to do it once a year, kind of go on this challenge, cool, by all means. But you don't have to train like this every single weekend, right? You just need consistency. Again, 3 to 5 smart workouts a week. It beats going all out with these, intense ultra marathon style challenges every time. Again, unless your goal is to be an ultra marathoner. If your goal is to be an ultra marathoner, by all means, train like an ultra marathoner. But if you just want to train for general fitness, you just want to be able to run like a 5K in under 25 minutes, you don't have to do all that. So you don't need to be like Goggins. You need to be you, right? Strong, mobile, pain-free, and able to show up every day for the life you want to build. And that takes structure. You don't have to suffer if you don't want to, right? Again, I'm not saying you can't train for an ultra marathon. It's totally possible. I actually work with ultra marathoners, but you don't have to take that pain cave mentality of running through broken legs. So if you're tired of guessing, starting over, dealing with aches and burnout, check out my free training on how to run pain-free. As it also works for veterans, if like yourself, if you're a vet who's watching this. So link in the description below. So quick recap, right? Goggins trains for like spirit energy, for that mental toughness. And you don't have to do all that, right? You could train for life and prove your mental toughness in other ways. You don't need to take it to the extreme level if you don't want to. You could follow, again, a smart training system. Rest is not weakness, it's recovery. And again, you don't have to do all these intense challenges, going through organ failure just to prove yourself. You can preserve your body and just be consistent with training, and that's good enough, and you'll get results. So again, if you want a system that works with your body, not against it, you can either drop a comment that I'm ready here or click the link in the description for my running pain-free free training. So let's build strength and endurance for life.